Approach. The hour is coming. Each word chosen for maximum impact. The audience doesn't know what's coming. Make them feel it before they understand it. Speak just a touch faster than normal. Natural, but crisp. Every morning, the same car. Top down, no escort. In a city, his name was Edvard Beneš. He had been the president of a country that the Reich protector did not administrate. In his first weeks in Prague, the executions began. They did not stop. The Czech resistance had networks. Heydrich rolled them up. The radios went silent. The informants multiplied. Beneš had a different problem. His government in exile was a fiction, a president without a country. The Allies did not take him seriously. And every week Heydrich ran Prague was another week the world forgot Czechoslovakia had ever existed. So he made a decision the Allies had not asked him to make. In Britain, two men were running an obstacle course in the rain. They had volunteered for something. Nobody had told them what. Jozef Gabčík, Slovak, warrant officer. Jan Kubiš, Czech, staff sergeant. Both had escaped occupied Czechoslovakia. The brief was 3 words long. Kill Reinhard Heydrich. The how, the where, the when, that was for the men on the ground to figure out. On the ground, in a city that wanted them dead. Heydrich did not believe he could be killed. He had been told the Czechs were. If you knew his route, and Beneš's planners did, you knew where he would be, how fast. 6 hours after takeoff, the red light turned green. They jumped at 2200 over occupied territory. The drop zone was supposed to be Pilsen. It was not Pilsen. The navigator had been wrong by 100 kilometers. They came down outside a village called Nevězdy, east of Prague, in a foot of snow, with most of their equipment buried somewhere they could not find it. 4 days later, they were in Prague. The Czech resistance hid them. Different apartments, different streets, different names. January became February, February became March. The British wanted them to act. Beneš had ordered them to act. They did not act yet. They watched. They were not alone for long. Lieutenant Adolf Opalka, older, harder, parachute. Heydrich lived 20 kilometers outside Prague at a chateau called Panenské Břežany. Every morning, his open-top Mercedes drove the same road into the city. They watched it for weeks. Heydrich's slowest point was the hairpin in Lieben. They had seen it on the map in London. The weapons crossed the channel one piece at a time. The plan is being executed. Keep pace with the action. Tight, factual, controlled tension building. Speak just a touch faster than normal. Natural but crisp. The weapons crossed the channel one piece at a time. They walked the corner together once. After that, they would only ever pass through it alone. May 27th, a Wednesday. Heydrich was scheduled to fly to Berlin that afternoon, then take a new posting in the west. After Berlin, he would be out of reach. There would not be a second chance. Dawn came at 4:50. The bend was empty. The bicycles were already in place. On the morning of May 27th, Heydrich left his chateau later than usual. Top down, no escort. The Reich protector did not believe Prague would touch him. 2 miles upstream, Gabčík held up a hand mirror. The sun caught the glass. 30 seconds. That was the warning. The car came around the corner on schedule. It slowed where it always slowed. Heydrich did not look at the curb. Harder edge. The situation has changed. Deliver each sentence like a verdict. No emotion. Let the numbers and facts do the work. Speak just a touch faster than normal. Natural but crisp. Gabčík stepped into the road. Raised the Sten. It missed the car. It hit the curb beside the right rear wheel. The fragments went up and inward. Through the side panel. Through the seat. Through the seat's horsehair stuffing. And into Reinhard Heydrich. Heydrich got out of the car. He did not know yet that he was bleeding internally. He fired at Gabčík. He fired again. A baker's delivery van stopped. The situation has changed. The baker's Within hours, the city was sealed. Every road, every train station, every bridge. The Gestapo wanted the men who had stopped a car at a hairpin. The Gestapo did not yet know their names. For 4 days, Heydrich seemed to recover. He sat up in bed. He read reports. The Berlin papers told the Reich he would survive. They were wrong by a week. Then the fever began. The horsehair fragments had taken. While Berlin radio carried the funeral, 7 men were already underground. On the 9th of June, German trucks stopped outside a village northwest of Prague. The village was called Lidice. We will come back to Lidice. The men in the crypt heard the radio carry through the cathedral wall above them. They heard names they recognized on the execution lists. The families that had hidden them. The priests that had let them in. They could not leave. They could not stop it. South of Prague, in a relative's house, another paratrooper was reading the same lists. His name was 2 days before the SS reached the cathedral. Karel Čerda walked into Gestapo. 3 of them went up into the church. 4 stayed in the crypt. They had decided in advance. At the choir loft, Opalka and Kubiš and Bublik held the nave as long as the ammunition held. Pistols against 700 SS. They were not trying to escape. A grenade came through a stained glass. We've come through something. The weight of what happened settles. On the 5th of August, Britain officially annulled the Munich Agreement. 9 days earlier, this had already happened in a village called Lidice. The bullet holes are still in the crypt wall. Jozef Gabčík, Jan. 3 weeks later, the same in Ležáky. The pattern was now policy. By August, the count of Czechs murdered in retaliation stood at 5,000.